On into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you're catching this information from on today. Go ahead and post that information so that your girl, the BrandMaster, can see where from which all of this value that I'm delivering to you guys is reaching out here in these internet streets. Okay, so welcome to tutorial 6 of the step-by-step building series. If you're an entrepreneur, if you are a stuck, struggling, new, emerging entrepreneur over here in the speaker realm who's actually been collecting business cards, writing name on napkins, losing track of potential clients, then today is the day that you are actually going to be extremely interested in tutorial 6, where we are actually setting up your GoHighLevel CRM to organize and track every single contact you make so that you never lose another speaking opportunity. I don't want you losing track. I don't want you trying to figure out where your people are. I don't want you looking through your dashboard trying to figure out some of the confusing things that are in there. So we're going to keep it simple, right? This CRM basic, okay, this content retention management basic system is what comes fifth in the organization, because we've already built your forms, we've already built your calendar, we've already built your website, we've already built your funnel. So today, tool number 5 in tutorial 6 is the day that we are focused on your CRM, because now we need a place to manage all of the leads that the system will be generating, okay? Your CRM is your single source of truth for your contacts. It stores everyone who fills out your forms. It tracks who you've talked to and what you've discussed when you select the notes. It helps you follow up systematically, and it turns your networking into a real business asset, okay? This isn't about complex sales pipelines yet, okay? It's about organizing your contacts so you know who you are talking to and what the next steps are, okay? So 3 key CRM functions for speakers that you need to make sure get implemented, okay? Number 1 is you want to make sure that the contact is recorded, storing information about each individual contact. You also want to make sure that the contact gets tagged. That means it is categorized in your contacts so that you can easily filter out who it is you are responding to, and you can also track more systematically. And finally, the contact notes that I just mentioned a moment ago to track your interactions and to know what the next step is, okay? So when we are setting up your contact records, this means when someone fills out your inquiry form, GHL automatically creates a contact record for them. So you did hear me just mention GHL, and if you have no earthly idea what that is GoHighLevel. That is the overarching main system, main software app that we are utilizing, and I've linked it below, ghl.martina.yelverton.com. If you've gotten this far along and you don't currently have your own GHL account, or you are not a sub account in the GHL agency that we have, then I don't know what you are continuing to watch this for, because you obviously cannot implement these steps inside of your GHL account if you do not have one. So go get one. Then go back to tutorial 1, re-understand the introduction that we talked about, and then go ahead and move forward to 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because here in tutorial 6, you will be lost. But let's move forward for those of you who are coachable, teachable, trainable, have your GHL accounts or your sub accounts, and you're ready to move into setting up your contact records. Again, this is when someone fills out your inquiry form, all right? So the first thing that you want to think about, and let me pull up your checklist, because again, with each and every tutorial, there is a checklist, and I need for you guys following the checklist. So here we are looking at the checklist. You know that we are talking today about the revamp for GHL CRM basics and how we're setting this information up, keeping you guys abreast to what we're doing. Here in step 1, we would talk about accessing your contacts. But again, in pre-planning, I say to you all the time, know what you're going to do before you do it. So here is your setup planning steps. You want to review any of the contacts that you have in there, and some of you may not yet have any contacts, because some of you could be looking at a blank account, which means when you go into your dashboard, let's pull up that area so I can show you what that looks like. Not that one. Let's see if we can get one up for you. When you go to your dashboard and you come into your dashboard and you're looking over here on this left-hand panels and you go to your actual contacts, it's blank, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down for just a moment because I have to go to the blank account and ensure that you guys are looking at the right one first. So let's get over to that one. And let me make sure that you guys are looking at the right blank account, making sure that I am not revealing any contact information because you know it will flag in YouTube, which ain't a good thing because we don't want it to do that. So let's see if I can get over here to this blank one where I have some demo information, and now I can pull that back up on the screen. All right, so when you get into the account, this will be blank for you. I put in a couple of dummy pieces of information utilizing one of the other emails that I have access to and a couple of the other phone numbers so that you can see someone in here. Okay, again, this is the Brand New Agency, the demo account that I have, so I can show you certain screens without divulging profit information. So inside of here, you would go over here on your left-hand panel and you would go to your contacts, right? This is your dashboard. These are your contacts. And you'll see a list of everyone who has submitted forms, okay? So again, if no one has submitted a form, this area will be blank for you. You're available to export it, save it as a CVS file, and then you are available to come in here and you are available to use this option to import them. So once you have contacts in here, then you will go back to reviewing the things that it's asking you to do. It's asking you to review the contacts. This is from if you have them on business cards, spreadsheets, or email lists. Then you can decide on an initial tagging system for organization. Now, mind you, we are going to get into tagging in just a few, but at least know in your mind whether these are previous clients, current clients, potential clients, networking contacts, or something like that. So this is what we mean by initial tagging system. What are you going to name them to be able to easily find them in your system? And prepare to import based on that mindset, right? And plan a daily and a weekly management routine so this will become easy for you. And then you will be able to duplicate easy into your system as automation. Okay. So, like I said, you're going to navigate to the contacts area and you're going to familiarize yourself with this entire interface. Again, you're going to review some of their information and understand the contact record layout that is available for you. And what I mean by that is understand the naming, the phone number, the email, when it was created, the last activity, and all of that. Some of the tags that was given to it, all of that information. Organize yourself, familiarize yourself with all of these little tabs up here and become competent to be able to work around inside of the system. Again, review before you actually start to add. So again, click on the existing clients, understand their details, review the information, check the activity history, verify the contact information is accurate, right? And ensuring that it has as much of the correct and fulfilled information as possible. You may have to manually go in and add some. You're going to simply click add contact and enter these fields, the name, email, phone, organization, if you have it, and any additional information available from maybe business cards or notes or meetings or your contact phone. You also are available to download your contact list out of your phone and then have it uploaded, okay? Uploaded. And then save the contact and verify the information appears correctly. Now, when you first do this, you need to wait about 10 to 15 seconds for the system to recognize all of the manual fields that you just plugged in, okay? So you heard me say we're going to speak very briefly about tagging, and here is where you would be able to locate that. The tagging is the column over here, okay? This allows you to click an actual option and say, let's back up here and say, I want to filter by newsletter. Now, this is going to be the same because they both have the tags, but I'm going to select audience member, and you will see when you select all, it's going to knock out the other one. When you select event, it's going to knock out the other. That's what I mean by you are available to filter your systems, and there are additional filters over here. Okay. When you actually utilize that on a regular and consistent basis, what it allows you to do is it will ease the ability of you to find things inside of your system. Okay. So by tagging, we're talking about creating categories. So there are multiple ways that you can actually create tags. Okay. One of the ways that you can create tags, if you want to just go in and create a prospect, client, partner, and personal tag, you are available to go inside of your system, and you are available to go to your settings. And if you scroll down, you will see this option here on the left that says tags. Once your system navigates to that, you will be able to see all of the tags that you currently have inside of your system, right? And if you need to add some, then now is the time to do it. So as you saw, your checklist said prospect, client, partner, personal. You would be able to add that here by going up here to a new tag, and now you can say personal and say create. If you already have it, it will give you a message up here that says cannot have duplicates. If you do have it, if you do not have it, then it will say that it was successfully added. And you saw this went from 16 to now 17 tags that are in this account. That's how easy it is to add your tag. Okay. Now, applying a tag, you can apply your prospect, client, partner, or personal, or any of your other tags based on who has shown interest, who has hired you, whether or not you're at an event, whether or not they are a friend or family. That will be under the personal tag, things like that. The easiest way to tag is to go to each contact record, and in the tags section, you can type the actual tag and hit enter, and then wait a second or so for it to apply it. Okay. This is the best and easiest way to tag individuals. Okay. One of the things you are also available to do is if you want to utilize your contacts area to see someone who has absolutely no tags at all, then you'll want to click this area, just like you're available to click the email, the created, and all of that. You are available to click to see or create a filter that says has no tag. And that way it will filter your list by everyone that is in your contacts now who has no tag. And now you actually are available to review and add and apply a tag as normal. Everyone in your system should have a tag. If they do not have a tag, it's very easy just to select all that do not have a tag and just remove them, because it's not good business sense to keep people in your portfolio if they are doing absolutely nothing. Okay. So again, you want to move forward with the contact notes system and how to set that up. Here are some of the note-taking standards. Develop a consistent format for them. So if you want to say met at, interested in, if you want to ensure that you're including the date, what type of interaction, or any key details, then do that. You want to make sure that you are setting up the categories to track them. Adding notes, go to a contact record. Let me show you. Click on the notes tab and add a note. So if we were going to this contact record, we're just going to click on the name. We are in this contact record. And because we're in here, we don't have any activity on this individual. But if you'll note, it said for you very simply to go to the contact record and click on the notes tab, and then you can add a note. So here we are inside of this particular contact record. And here over here are the different areas and ways that you can select any of the various options, right? If you hover, it tells you what they are. So if we're adding a note here, it's going to bring up that tab, and now you can add a note, and you are available to type in the note description. Okay, again, add the note, save it, verify that it shows up. It's that simple. So if there are ways or things that you have not noted in your account, then pick a time to take the time to go in and clean up your organization, right? Additional things that you can do is when it's time to actually add workflows, and when we get further down this beautiful rabbit hole to add workflows, you will be able to do that by filtering out and creating workflows. Now, this is just letting you know that this is a way that you can begin to develop your workflow. New lead from a form process. GHL is automatically going to create the content record for you from the form submission. You may manually need to go in and add prospect to a new contact. For now, because your system is paying attention to what you're doing, and you can set it to respond to an inquiry within 24 hours. These are things that you're going to be able to do and set up inside of workflows once you learn that. We're just giving you a peek into the process that could happen with a form for a new lead that it comes in. These are manual things that eventually your system will do on automation when you set it up. The same for a networking event. When a contact is processed based on the workflow you set up, that happens when you add a tag. Meaning, if you manually enter a new contact and you add the appropriate tag for prospect or partner, and you add a note where you met and what you discovered, it will automatically send a follow-up email based on your workflow once you train your system to do this. And again, you heard me mention just a moment ago that you can set up basic filtering so that you can find your contacts with ease. You can organize your list and your contacts based on their most recent activity. This is familiarizing yourself with the entire atmosphere. Again, daily and weekly routines for your contact management could be, and it's listed here, easy peasy. This is totally up to you whether you go through setting up the systemization inside of your list or not. I'm giving you a very extensive but basic tool that you can determine what you want to do with your contact retention management system. If you want to integrate other options, then here, integrate with other systems. You could have a MailChimp, you could have an Outlook, you can have other things that you need to integrate. Here is the steps for you to test and see if your system is working properly. The same with data quality management, making sure that each contact has at least the very basic information. And please make sure you're paying attention when you're loading information in as mobile phone versus a business line. Why? Because you cannot text and send SMS messages to a landline or a business office line that does not have mobile or those type of capabilities. Okay. And again, regularly cleaning up your system, schedule a time, get it done. Merging your duplicates, because sometimes you will have a same name, a same number, and you'll meet an individual at two different events. It's the same individual. They utilize your form. They go into your system as a duplicate based on their name, but maybe not based on their number. They could have given you the mobile number at one event and the business line at a separate event. You want to make sure that you merge the duplicate contacts and that your system organizes it properly, okay? Because when you move to things like segmentation, and you begin to send out maybe all of your SMS messages, one notification, but your email recipients another notification, you want your system to be able to see which is going to perform better for you. So ensure you are using tags to contact them by industry, speaking topic, geographic location, or engagement level. Okay. Also, using those marks to filter out and to organize your system will help you when it's time to send out any of your workflows in an organized fashion. And then you can continue forward with the success metrics, troubleshooting if you need to. Advanced features are available. We will get to that much, much, much later. But just understand you need to begin consistent daily CRM management routines so that you can start to track the conversion of these contacts. Because if you do not, you will be lost in the sauce. Okay. Again, we can walk through a lot of the different ways to do this, but right now, it's very important that when you get a new lead from your form, that GHL does what it does, or if you meet someone in person, you do what you need to do. Why? Because when you begin to utilize your system, you want it already set up so that when you automate it, it already has learned through all of this amazing technology what to do based on a contact coming into your system. Okay. Your CRM will now be organized so that all your leads inside of your system will plug and play and fire off when we move down this tutorial about your fields, your workflows, your pipelines, and opportunities. All of those things will feed off of the way that you are putting people into your system. Okay. In the next tutorial, tutorial 7, we're setting up custom fields, right? To track the speaker specific information that isn't in your standard forms, right? Your custom fields will make your CRM even more powerful by letting you track things like the event dates, budgets, audience sizes, and all of that directly into your content record or your contact records, okay? So that's basically the simplest way that I can explain CRMs to you because it is a system. It is a simple system for organizing your contacts, but only if you categorize them with tags and you put the information in with the intention of staying organized so that by the time you set AI onto this, the automation continues to fire in the manner that you set it up. So trash in, trash out. Trash in, automation kicks in, even more trash out. Okay. So next week, when we move into the next level, we want to make sure that you've taken the opportunity to go through all of these first 6 tutorials as what is the word I'm looking at? As methodically as possible, because when you move forward, it's going to be built off of this foundation that you've already set. Okay. So I hope you take the opportunity to have a look at what is available to you inside of the community, community.martinabrityelverton.com. You have your own access links to be able to go in there, look around, set a spell, and come on back. You hear? Because this is going to be the way your system operates, again, based on how you put it in. And you have availability, you have accessibility to all of the checklists, to all of these tutorials inside of the community. So use what you've been granted access to. Ensure that you go all the way back to tutorial number 1 and you start with tool number 1 in tutorial number 2 and begin to put your system together step by step by step. Because again, by the time we reach this amazing SpeakerCon conference, guys, I need for you guys to be excited, to be plugged in, to be raring, and ready to go, so that in 38 days, when you show up on the back end of the 7th annual SpeakerCon conference virtual experience and you begin to watch all of the amazing information that is going to be shared with you, you won't be lost in the sauce. You'll know exactly what it is that you need to do once you continue to hear from SpeakerCon. And if you have no earthly idea what it is a results-driven leadership and communication conference that is designed for career professionals, entrepreneurs, leaders, and creators who want to make their voice count, right? This world is currently increasing and being shaped by technology, automation, and AI intelligence. And so this year's theme, Lead with Heart, but Leverage with Automation, is being built specifically for you. Okay, you want to be able to grace the stage, grace the internet streets, right, with your value, your vision, utilizing your voice, and having the power of AI behind you. And this conference is one of the best ways that I can think of to get you prepared for what comes next, right? So if you'll go out here and you're interested in getting tickets, then you want to go ahead and be populated down here to where you can go ahead and register to get access on today. It will populate you over to the Zoom login. This is what your girl has completely set up for Dr. Cheryl Wood and this hybrid experience. Go ahead and get registered with your Zoom account or your email address on today. Once you do that, you will be populated into the lobby area and you will be able to see more about the virtual kickoff on Thursday. The actual information that's happening. The virtual kickoff is Wednesday night. The first full day of the conference is on Thursday. We have a two-part series on Friday where the AM is actually virtual. The PM is actually in person in Maryland, in Hyattsville, Maryland, my old high school stomping ground. And then we come back for a full day virtually on Saturday and a grand finale on Sunday. Okay. So if you'd like to attend the in-person event, you're available to go to eveningofimpact.com, grab your $30 access ticket, and we'll see you guys in Maryland. Otherwise, please go ahead and set a spell and be empowered, be invested, be involved, be impactful from everything that you will experience here at SpeakerCon Conference 2025. And now you will know why you need to have your professional system, your professional brand and business system set up and raring to go so you can jump out here into these internet streets and you can go ahead and get involved with people who need your voice and your value out here in the world. So thank you again for your time on today. I greatly appreciate you stepping in and catching this tutorial that's been made available to you on today. And we discussed CRM basics again. Next week, we're going to jump into, let's see if I have that information available for you guys, because next week it gets a little heavy, as I want to call it. And next week, when we jump into the next tutorial, we're actually going to be looking at the additional systems for custom fields, tags, pipelines, and as I mentioned, the workflows. So get ready for another 4 or 5 tutorials to take you even deeper, but take the opportunity to go back and start at tool number 1 inside of tutorial number 2. If you need to skip the introduction and go ahead and jump right into tutorial number 2, where we feature tool number 1, and that's your form. It all starts with your form. I'm excited for you guys, and I look forward to you joining me on this journey.